Hey Summit, this is Edward. Here's Jake. We're back again this week, and
Nice outfit.
thanks, bud. This is my Thursday study outfit.
I like it.
When I'm in the backyard, and
I like it.
yeah. So I know the shirt says Isaac.
I know. Are you going to
but
be sacrificed at the altar?
No, I'm not. So, hey, I'll tell you what, last Sunday was so fun. I know some of you couldn't make it last week, but we actually had our first time back together since March 15th? Is that right?
It went well. Kids in the service.
Man, it was awesome.
Went well.
And Ashley and Kristen are putting together those project boxes for every week, and the kids are awesome in there.
Hey, I want to give you a compliment.
What?
You did really good with the kids in the service. I mean, you stayed away from words like propitiation and
Yeah.
sanctification and stuff like that, and it was really good because you start throwing that kind of theological stuff out there, and you've got kids just like,
I know, and you. That's what's funny about
Yeah.
that. You don't know them either.
Right.
But anyway, hey, we're really excited about this. This week we're going to be having another 9 o'clock service. It's for the at-risk population or those who are over the age of 65. And then we'll have an 11 o'clock family worship. And just to clarify, if you're over the age of 65, you don't have to go to that 9 o'clock service. Now, if you're healthy and you have not had any symptoms or anything, you're more than welcome to go to that 9 o'clock. Or you can go to the 11. It's your choice, however you want to do that. Now, the 11 o'clock last week, Jake's going to talk a little bit about this, is we had some overflow. So it was packed. It was crazy. And so we've set up our Generations Auditorium for the overflow. And so if you want to get a seat at the 11, you better get there in time. And or you can come to the 9 o'clock if you don't have any symptoms. So Jake, why don't you talk a little bit about what we learned last week and kind of where we're going this week?
Yeah, so the family service went well. A lot of you did decide to show up. It was a great blessing. We did have to use the overflow room, and so if you don't know what that is, we're live streaming back into Generations, and so if you don't want to be in the overflow room, you may want to get there a little bit early to be able to grab a seat, because what we're trying to do is keep 2 seats between family groups, but we filled up that auditorium social distance wise,
Yeah.
and we had to use the overflow, or like Edward said, you can come to the 9. There was plenty of space in the 9, so if you're healthy and you want to get up early, the kids are more than welcome to be there as well. I want to celebrate our First Impressions team.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job.
Incredible.
We are looking for a few more volunteers, and so if you want to help us out, there's just a short little training that I can go over with you. It won't take long at all. Reach out to me, Jake, at summitheightsfellowship.com, and I'd love to be able to put you on the First Impressions team. But all in all, man, it was a great Sunday.
It really was. You know, I know some of you guys we've talked about this over the last couple of weeks, is that we're all ends of the spectrum when it comes to this thing about shutting down the economy, wearing masks and all that. You know, here's the truth. It really doesn't matter what we think, because as Christians, we have one goal, and that's the gospel. Everything we do is for the gospel. In fact, it was the Apostle Paul that said this: to the weak, I'm weak. To the strong, I'm strong. To those without the law, I'm willing to go there. In other words, I'll do anything I've got to do short of sin to reach people for the gospel. If that means we got to wear a mask, we'll wear a mask. If that means we got to put 2 chairs between us, we'll put 2 chairs between us. If that means we got to take out every other row, we'll take out every other row, because ultimately it's not about us. It's about the gospel, Jesus Christ. And so I encourage you with that. Keep that in mind as we try to reach people with the good news of Jesus Christ, because that's what the gospel is. It's good news. And this isn't the first time we've been here. This isn't the first pandemic the church has ever been through. We went through one 100 years ago. This isn't the...
Were you alive then?
No. So anyway, this is not new for us. And so we just get to navigate it in our generation. And don't forget, it's for the sake of the gospel. So I love you. I look forward to seeing you again this Sunday. It was so good to hear you sing and gather and see all the people together. I know some of you are still out of town. Some of you still are not feeling safe to come back. Keep joining us online, because we're doing some things there that's going to make that better and better and better. So I love you. Look forward to seeing you Sunday morning for those that we see you, and we look forward to seeing the rest of you online. Have a great weekend.